We are here at Boost Biz Ed in Westminster to talk about the power of dynamic presence with Lila Gonzalez. So Boost Biz Ed is educational and networking. So if you're watching online, you're missing it because we have a great room of people here that you don't get to meet. So with that, as we get into this, I will be commenting online. Feel free to add your comments online, and this, for all the people in the room, is going to be live and visible for you guys. You can go back and rewatch, read all my comments, good, bad, otherwise, and add your own later. So jot furious notes now, but if you know you missed something, you can go back and rewatch it. So with that, we're going to bring up Lila Gonzalez of Lila Gonzalez Consulting, presenting the power of dynamic presence. Through her book, speeches, courses, retreats, and collaborations with other thought leaders, Lila personally mentors business owners and organization leaders to use the power of dynamic presence to radically grow their revenue and increase their global impact. Lila is a former professor of environmental policy at The Ohio State University and has taught mind-body practices for 20 years. She started when she was this many. Do I need to get a laugh track? Come on. All right, so she has a Chihuahua named Speedy and loves living in Colorado. So with rousing applause, let's welcome Lila to the front of the room.
Thank you so much for such a entertaining introduction, to say the least. Entertaining. So I will say, I know he said to take furious notes, but actually today we're going to, I'm going to have you be with yourself a little bit more. That's what I like to tell people when I first come up in front of you. It's really about, I'm here for you, but more importantly, you're here for you, right? And that's what presence is about, is being with yourself no matter what. Being fully with yourself in a sales conversation, for example. How many of you want to make more money next year? Yeah. How many? I was going to say this year. I know, I was about to say this year. I forgot it's February. But I was going to say, the next question is, how many of you want to make more money this year than you did last year? Right. Okay. You can learn all the strategies, right? You can learn all the techniques, but today we're going to talk about something a little bit deeper, the place that within you that often stops you from even taking action on those strategies, like the lead generation, right, that you're bringing forward. And I want to say that I want to honor this. What you spoke was, you said, I made a few mistakes last year. I did a few things off that didn't work out, maybe, right? How many people have done things that haven't worked? Dozens. Oh, that didn't work. Next. Oh, that didn't work. Next. And presence, what this presentation today will help you is to be able to move through those things quicker. Be able to move through the things that didn't work out, that aren't serving your business, your vision, right, a little bit quicker. Why? Because you're going to feel it. You're going to know it. You're going to question it sooner, because you're going to have this space within you you're going to be more familiar with. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay? And how many of you know you're not charging enough? One? How many of you would like to charge more? That means you're not charging enough. Let's just call it out right now. If you want to charge more and you're not charging, and that means you're probably not charging enough. And what we'll talk about today is how to feel that, how to maybe step into your own value a little bit more, and reach more people, make more sales, generate more income, make more impact in your community or in the world, if that's what you want to do, wherever you want to make impact. Okay, so magnetically attract clients. That's what we're going to talk about today, because that's what we really want to do. We don't want to really go out there and chase clients. Nobody wants to wake up and say, oh, where's my next person coming from? Right? It's not about that. It's like, how can I be the kind of person? How can I live in a way? How can I present myself in a way, any moment, whether it be on stage, whether it be in sales conversations, whether it even be in your personal relationships, because your personal relationships impact your business, right? They really do. It carries over. So we want you to be in a space where you feel like you can actually be a magnet. You can attract people, and you don't actually have to go out there and chase them, okay? That's what this is about today. So I'm going to... Okay, first off, why is this important? I believe that you are the glue that holds this world together. I really do. I really believe that the entrepreneurs are the change makers. They're the people who are out there every single day who are committed to a vision to help the world in some way, whether it be you're helping parents, right? You're helping business owners, you're helping people so they have more time to do the things that they need to do in their day, right? Like I would love somebody to come over. I'm really particular about my laundry, like nobody's touching my clothes, but, but there's other things, right? Like food and cleaning and things that free up space for people to do other things, right? So I really believe as entrepreneurs, you are the change makers. You are the glue that holds this whole world together. You are the ones who are innovating, coming up with the new ideas. So when you feel that you are in a space where you can magnetically attract people to your business, you feel like you can make more impact in the world. You feel like the glue. You feel connected. You feel like your body even, it won't wear down when you feel like you're going towards your vision, when you're excited, right? You never get tired. You never get, right? You might have to do some things, but you can spend 16 hours doing what you love, right? So that's what this today is about. It's really about, I believe that dynamic presence is a way to help entrepreneurs get out there, get their messages out there, and be attractive on stage, in the sales conversations, you know, in the even as you're coaching one-on-one or hosting, having clients. When you're really with yourself, when you're really present with yourself, people can't help but listen. People can't help but want to be like, maybe what that person is saying can support me in my vision. So you are the glue, brothers and sisters. I really believe that. I really do. I really think that, you know, we live in a day where there's more resources for entrepreneurs now than ever. And so it's so important to take care of you. So I'd like you to just jot down, take out your pen and jot down, you know, I asked you questions like, would you like some more revenue in your business this year? Yeah, the answer is yeah, right? So go ahead and write down what's a reason, or 1 to 3 reasons, why do you want more revenue in your business this year? Why do you want more revenue? You got to get a book out, right?
Left it in the car.
And then the second question is, why do you want more clients? Like, you know, these beautiful hands that says connect and reach out and bridge and work with and unite. And what is it that you know, I love what you said. You love helping people with financial literacy. We all know that we grew up and learned history and social studies and English and math, but we didn't really, most of us in America didn't learn financial literacy. So that's something you're passionate about. So I have a feeling one of the reasons you want to work with more people, maybe you want more revenue, you want a new car this year. Maybe you want to build a community garden, you know, whatever you want to do. But why do you want to work with the people? Like you said, I got that from you. Like, oh, I want to help people with literacy. Like they're stressed out about money. Like I want to help people, right? So that's the people part. So just make a couple, 1 to 3 reasons now why you want more clients. You want to attract more clients in your business. Like, what is it about these people particular? You're like, oh, I really want to attract them. Those are the people that I want to work with. Just write that down. And as you're writing that, I just want to give a big thanks because, you know, it's because of Boost Biz Ed. It's because of the DaVinci Institute. It's because of people like you who come here that we can be the glue for the world as entrepreneurs, that we can generate more revenue, that we can, you know, connect with the kind of clients that are going to serve our vision and help them, right? So I want to just give massive gratitude to Boost Biz Ed for, you know, Drew and his vision, and Carol, you know, and everybody who's holding the torch, because this is the kind of place that this kind of stuff happens, right? That we can make more revenue, that we can connect with the kind of clients we want. And if you trust me now, I've built your trust enough, close your eyes. Okay, just take a moment and breathe into your nose and out of your mouth. And pay gratitude, thank you to yourself for choosing to be here right now when you could be anywhere. Where you choose to learn and grow and be with you. One more breath in, and nice exhale out.
And softly let your eyes blink open. And write one thing that's different down than when you first walked in today. It's one thing different. And if you don't know, it's because you didn't close your eyes.
He's like, I saw you. Like, I can't think of anything different.
You said to give this person gratitude. He don't deserve none.
Beautiful. So this is dynamic presence we're going to talk about. So the next question. So would anybody like to share before I go forward? What's different? What? Anybody?
It's quiet,
Quiet.
calm,
Calm.
relaxed.
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 Relaxed. Okay. How many of you like to go about your business with a little bit more relaxation and calm during the day? Okay. Good. And how many of you like to buy from people who are relaxed and calm?
Right. So what if just a few breaths could get you more clients because they actually want to work with you because you're in the energy they like?
So it's subtle, right? It's just, you just experienced it in a moment. You came in, you sat down, we talked a little, we hugged, we cried. No, we didn't cry yet. I'm not, today's speech, the last time I spoke, actually at the last boost, I had people crying. I thought, I don't think I'm not going to go that deep today. I'm not going to get you guys crying too much today. But you can feel that sensation, right? This is you. You produce that energy. You produce everything you produce in your business. You produce the scattered energy. If you come forward scattered, you produce the I need that client energy, right? Or you produce the relaxed, calm energy. And here's a way to do it. Pause, close your eyes, take a breath, a few breaths, and pay gratitude for yourself for just being in that moment at that time, okay? It might sound a little woo-woo, but you felt it. And we all know we like to buy from people. We like to have sales, enrollment conversation, sales conversation. Carol's an expert in this, right? You could go on. You've been doing this for years, so you know it's so much easier. There's a reason you even have the personality you have, Carol, is because you bring this calm, centered energy, and it's like, oh, I could talk to her, right? But if somebody's like, hey, do you want to buy my thing? Do you want to buy my thing? My thing is amazing. You got to buy my thing. You got to have my thing. My thing is going to change your life, right? Where am I? Here. I'm not. Nobody likes those people. They walk away like, you want to do coffee? Yeah, send me an email. Right? Okay. So that's what this is about. So you got to experience it just a little bit, but this is going to help you in in any intimate relationship, in your romance, in your friendships, in your family, with your kids, even with your dog. I mean, unconditional love. Dogs give you presents. Why not give it back? Right? Just feel it a little bit more. It's healthy. It's actually very healthy for your body too. We won't go on about all the health benefits. So I want you to now ask yourself, just for a moment, why aren't you having the revenue? What would be one thing that would keep you having more revenue this year than last year? Meet more people. Need to meet more people. Beautiful. Yeah. And what would be, and so everybody just kind of write down your own thing. What would be something that would, because this is the next question, right? Keep you from having more clients, the kind of clients you want. What would be one thing? Why couldn't you get that you want? Huh. Okay. So, yeah. That's often the shtick, right? That's the whole, we all know that's the paradox of life. We want something, but we stop ourselves from getting it. Huh. Right? So, yeah, what if this moment, in that moment when you're like, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you some tools to do. Before I do it, I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. Is that okay? Because I'm getting really excited about how to move through this. Okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. But it's exactly what you said. It's ourselves that stop us. And I'm going to share a little story about my own life and what I have a six-figure business, coaching business. I run group programs. I have clients on 4 continents. I'm shooting for 6 continents this year, and Antarctica next year. 2019, if you know anybody in Antarctica, send them my way, right? So I put just a few pictures of most of my clients are authors, speakers, coaches, therapists, people that are healers, yoga teachers, people that tend to want to impact a lot of people. And so they're the ones that stop themselves. They have a big vision, but they don't know how to get it, to come down to earth, right? To actually make it happen. And so I help them with that. And I put this here because anybody that knows me, I'd love to become Facebook friends. You'll know, I'll ask you at the end of the presentation, like, be my Facebook friend, because I really believe that it's a way for us to stay connected. We can see each other. We can learn, like, oh, she's got a couple kids and she's got a dog and she does, like, this is me being yoga. Like, I'm into yoga and I live that kind of yogi world, in that yogi world, right? Like, I love to, I'm vegan. I say I'm vegan-ish. Right? I live this life where I'm healthy. Honestly, I have not been this healthy and energized since before high school, probably. You know, when little girls are like, oh, you know, in terms of my work, excitement about what I'm doing. And that's why I care so much about you guys. The glue that holds the world together is because you probably want more energy or the right kind of energy to move toward your vision, towards your dream. The little things will take you out and you want to bring back that energy. So, you know, I live this life where I get to, you know, build a business. I work from home. I'm healthy. I'm energized. I work with clients on all, you know, all these different continents. And I really, truly believe it's because of dynamic presence, okay? My life wasn't always quite like this, though. So dynamic presence, you'll notice when I brought you into when your eyes were closed and you had a breath, you felt more in your whole body. And I used to be a professor. You may have heard from the beginning. So I taught environmental policy. I'd like to joke and say for about 15 years, I studied the problems of the planet and the problems of politics, okay? Environmental policy. And I was teaching in, you know, one of the biggest universities in the country. You know, I've got this lecture hall and all these students. I've got, you know, over the years, you know, dozen TAs. And it wasn't resonating with me anymore. It was like I would wake up and I was living so much from my head, my intellect. I was worn out every day, right? Just trying to think so much that I couldn't think. I actually got to a space where I was like, I would get like foggy, and it would judge myself and feel stupid. And when you're in a position of being in an academia, the last thing you want to do is feel stupid. Right? That's what you value. I valued my intellect so highly, and I would just start to wear myself down. So in 2013, I decided to shift my life. I left it all. My brother says I had an eat, pray, love moment. And I came to Denver, and I had never been here. And the second day in, I said, I'm moving here. I went back 2 months later, moved here. I left my career, you know, came out, no job, no home, anything, just made it happen. And what I did is like, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to, you know, figure it out. And what ended up happening, so I was in this place of being like, you know, a professor and thinking like, you know, you're smart and you climb the mountain. How many of you guys climbed a mountain, you got to the top of the mountain, you're like, oh, it's not so great up here. Yeah. Like you're sitting on all these, you know, I don't want to go into that, but it wasn't what I wanted at that. I got there and then I no longer wanted it, right? I didn't feel like I was actually being valued, right? My grandma used to say, oh, you're getting a PhD, you're going to be really rich.
It's a blessing.
Yeah. So it ended up feeling like I was doing all of this work. I was working like 2 jobs, it felt like, and making, you know, not very much, right? So there was a disconnect. It felt off. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to start my business. And so I started teaching yoga. And I decided I'm going to start a coaching business, right? That people have done this, right? And then I found myself in a factory packing panties. PhD packing panties, friends. Okay? This is what happens. So I thought I was going to come to Denver and be like, value myself more, all of this stuff. It didn't happen. Right? I had no idea what I was doing. Business is like, you don't know what you're doing, right? I knew how to be a professor. I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know how to start a business. So I'm like on Craigslist looking for side gigs. I am driving Uber. I'm teaching yoga for $3.50 a head, and maybe 3 people will show up. Okay, I'm going here, going there, driving around town. And I'm sitting there like packing panties. And I'm like looking around these women And I'm like, I have a PhD packing panties right now. What the hell is going on, right? So it was 11/11. I leave the packing panties job. It was a short-term gig, right? They had this big, they sold more panties than they expected, so they need extra help. I leave there and I'm just defeated, right? I just feel like a loser, right? Barely can make the bills, right? Trying to do a business, packing panties. It's 11. I didn't realize it at the day, right? It's 11/11. But looking back on the story, it's like, oh my gosh, of course, everything, everything happens for a reason. It's 11/11. I'm driving. There's not much water, right, in Colorado. I'm driving though, and there's this stream, and I look at it, and I just pull over on my car. I get out of my car, and I pull out the video camera because that's what I do. I do Facebook Lives and videos and all of that kind of stuff. This is before Facebook Live, of course. But I pull out the video camera, and I stand there, and I said, today's the day. I'm done. I'm no longer working for anybody else ever again. My business is taking off, and no matter what is going to happen. And I got a coach. Shortly thereafter, I found a coach, found somebody to help me. And within the first year, within the first 3 months, made 6 figures actually, because I chose, right? I chose to really have presence and feel into like all of those little things, the getting on, worrying about how much money, were actually keeping me. The packing panties were keeping me from my value. I was actually holding myself back because I was so used to not being valued. I just got myself in the same space. So what I want you to do today, what we're going to play with, is how can you feel your own value, right? How can you have this moment by the water where you're like, no more. I'm not taking any less than I'm worth ever again in anything, whether it be in your business, whether it be in your relationships, whether it be your health, what you put in your mouth. I am no longer accepting less than I am worth. Okay, so what I really do is help people with, these are the 3 areas that I say, there's tons of stuff that I love to help people do, but really when it comes down to it, I help people gain dynamic presence, and I define dynamic presence as having presence as you move through life. Because there are people who teach you presence, like you need to meditate and sit still for 20 minutes a day. How many of you guys are doing that? Okay, Facebook, nobody raised their hand. No, a single person. I know it. That's why we're talking about dynamic presence. Okay, because it's not easy, especially for entrepreneurs with big visions. You have an intellect that's quite strong. You have a mind that is constantly moving towards something exciting in your life. I get it. So what I really believe is in these micro moments. It's like you just experienced of pausing, closing your eyes, pulling yourself back in, and we're going to practice it a little bit more here in a second, but pulling yourself back in out of the thoughts of into calm, peace, relaxing mind. Okay? And what happens then, you'll often get the answers you need. They rise from within. Does anybody get good ideas when they're in the shower? Yeah, the shower ideas. I take baths all the time, so I get the bathtub ideas. Yeah, or you're maybe, I know some people will golf, right? And they'll get brilliant ideas. Or some people will go out and run or play, something with throw a ball. But it's you get out of your head and into your body. The answers you have. If you have a question, you have the answer. It's in your energetic field. It's around you. If it's not in you, it's like somebody to call or how to look it up. You know the answers to all of your questions. Okay? The ego mind, I'm going to go a little deep here. Sorry, guys. The ego mind is just trying to hold you back, right? The ego mind is trying to say, I don't know how, and keep you in victimhood. So dynamic presence can actually give you the answers to what you need, whether it be who do I call, how do I find the next client, what do I offer next, what's the best pricing to put my packages at. Any of that stuff you have already, it's in your field already. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the question. I don't have your questions. You have your questions. So the answers are when you tell yourself you don't know, dynamic presence is a way to pull you back in and find the answer. Exciting. Own your own value. So I'm not gonna go into your value too much more. I want you to be able to feel it. That's why I speak to it. Dynamic presence will help you feel your own value, because often the mind will tell you, your thoughts will tell you that you're not worth as much. Who's gonna pay me? There's nobody available. But there's almost 8 billion people. So there's people out there for you. It's just a matter of having that presence to recognize that you can connect with them, right? And like, I really appreciate you being here, Ish, because you said, I'm here to speak to people with my eyes up, and I want to share with everybody who's, you know, not looking at Ish this whole time. You've had your eyes lifted the whole time. You're very present. So this is the energy. I just want to bring this to presence even now. This is the energy you want to bring to every sales conversation. Right? Just listening, right? Because then you hear what your client needs, and then you can speak to that. But you're very much present right now, right? You're probably not thinking about what you're having for dinner. What are you thinking about, Chad? I'm kind of hungry. Okay, it's okay. You can have seats. Okay, I'm gonna have seats. All right. Just kidding. And then from there, generate more sales. So I teach systems, very much of like, you know, I have a 7-step system to have a, you know, sales conversation that I teach. I really believe that systems are very important. Structure is very important, but that structure gives you freedom to play, to have more presence. Once you have the structure, like once you have the package, once you own your value, once you price it a certain way, once you believe in it, like no matter what, it's the most amazing thing in the world, then you can go out and practice this dynamic presence, right? You need it before, you need it during, you need it after. It's a practice, I call it, just like in yoga. Life is a practice, really. You get better and better. Everybody here in this room and everybody on Facebook who has businesses, or if you don't now, later, you'll know sales conversation, just like Carol said, you're always in it. We're in it right now. He just nodded. I sold you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, we know that, right? So that, you know, this is what drives the glue that you guys are the glue that holds the world together. And so these sales, this is why it's so important. These sales are important for you to get, or to have, to generate, is because then you can make more impact. Everything is energy. Would we agree? Even down to the cells of your body. Everything's moving. And your energy attracts, and hopefully not this one, in parentheses, repels clients. Have you ever been tried to sold to and anybody you're like, I want to go home now? Yeah, so let's not do that. Dynamic presence will help you. We'll talk about how to do it. Really, you felt a little bit already. So without presence, you don't know your gifts, really. You question whether or not, a lot of experts, a lot of entrepreneurs, they'll question whether their gifts, their product, their services are actually, like, somebody's going to buy them. You question that, like, is somebody really going to buy this thing? And so when you have presence, you really drop in and you feel like, I'm valuable. I know my value. Like, this is very much worth it. And you just move forward without all that story in your head. You own your value, right? You know your gifts, you own your value. And if you don't have presence, you can't grow your business because you're in your head all the time. That's what we want you to do, is get out of your head and get into your body a little bit more to move forward, to get into the action that's actually going to bring the clients, the revenue, everything into your business. With presence, you know your gifts. You know exactly what you're here to offer the world. You can move forward. You own your value. You charge more. If you're not making what you want, start to charge more or talk to more people, right? And you grow your business. And that's what you're all here for today at Boost Biz Ed. Whether you're here or watching Facebook later, is you want to grow your business. You want to grow your vision. You want to expand in some area somehow. So like I said, dynamic presence is really about how to be present as you move through life, okay? Not just, if you have a meditation practice or some sort of, I have a mindful movement practice. My yoga that I practice and teach, it's a very advanced practice. It's very mindful movement. It takes a whole ton of me to be with all of me and put my fingers down, right? I have that practice, but that's not all day long. That's not with my clients. That's not as I drive my car. So what would it be like to all day to be a little bit pause on the thoughts and a little bit more, what they say, drop down. We'll feel it here in a second. But just even in this moment, bring your awareness to your belly button and let it soften just a little. and you feel calm again, feel a little bit more grounded. Okay? It's simple, 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 simple. But if you're in a sales conversation and you're like, oh God, are they gonna buy my thing? I don't know, are they gonna buy my thing? Are they gonna buy my thing? I hope they buy my thing. Do they like my thing? I think they're talking about, do they have to talk to their husband about my thing? You're in that, we've all been there, right? Whether it be in a sales conversation or something else, you're wondering, pause. That's the moment to take a breath, feel your belly button, get into your body, because none of those thoughts are attractive. You're not attracting anybody. You're repelling people by being in your thoughts. Does that make sense? It's subconscious, it's subtle, it's underneath, but everybody knows they don't like talking to someone, being around somebody who's in their head too much. We know that from experience. We've been around people. We like intellects. We like, people who have grand ideas, but when they're only here, it's not as easy to connect. Okay? So this is for you if you're the kind of person who says, I don't have enough time to practice presence. This is perfect for you. Exactly. If you feel like you don't have enough time to do something, this is exactly why you need presence. This is exactly why you need it. This is perfect, because what will end up happening is you actually, when you practice presence, it will feel like you have more time in your day. It tends to be what people say in the beginning after working with me for about 3 weeks. They feel like they have about 2 more hours in their day, because you're not spending your time in those thoughts those thoughts actually take a lot of time and you don't even realize. You're spending a whole ton of time, maybe not all of you. Many people are spending a whole ton of time and energy towards stuff. They don't even know it. And there's all this time that goes by. So you tend to get about like 2 to 4 hours over time in your day, what feels like 2 to 4 hours more in your day, which, wouldn't you like 2 to 4 hours in your day? What would you do with it?
What would I do with it? I would, wow. There are lots of things I could do with it. I could go exercise more. I could go and create my art. I could even make more client calls.
Boom. Client calls, do something you love. Yeah. Yep. Feel healthy. Anybody else? I heard somebody say something. You're like, I know what I would do with 2 hours.
Have fun.
Have fun. Yeah. Yeah. So consider your practice of presence as a pathway to fun. Okay. It may not be fun in the moment, but over time, your brain's going to be having a little more fun because it's not going to be thinking about the things that don't feel so good, so interesting, and you'll actually free up more time. It's amazing. Less stress, it's healthy on your body doesn't get so worn down, all of that. When you're more present, your body actually can feel more ease. This is for you if you ever hear yourself say, I've got to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. Do you figure it out usually? Over time, but not in that moment. Right? It's usually later in the shower you get the ideas, or Susie calls you and says something that sparks a. So this is a way to figure it out quicker. So if you're in that space of being stuck, like, oh man, I just got to figure it out. How am I going to do this? Pause. Breathe. I'm going to teach you how here in a second. I keep saying, I'm alluding to it. It's exciting, right? But that's a time when this is very common for me. Being a former professor, it's like I feel, and I really do truly believe, like I can figure anything out if I put enough energy into it. And yet, what if it would come quicker? What if the answers would come a little bit faster? If I didn't have this idea that I had to figure it out, that I paused knowing that it's already there, take a breath, it'll come quicker. This is a lot of trust, right? There's no like path that I can give you anecdotal stories, but you all have them in your own life. Right? So it's a sense of just bringing this new level of awareness of saying, yes, you are building a business. Yes, it is important. Yes, you have strategies and techniques that you're going to want to implement. And at the same time, what stops most people are the thoughts of, how am I going to do this? I got to figure this out. Maybe I need a new strategy. Okay, so dynamic presence can get you the answers quicker. I don't know how. It's the same thing. It's just the mind often telling you that trying to stop you, trying to kind of keep you back. I don't know how to do this. It's usually not true. It's usually, there's always a way to figure it out. And presence will get you that first step to say, oh, that's probably the first next step forward. This is one of my favorites. I'm just too ADD. That's just how I am. No, you are not. If you are deficient in your attention, you are not you're deficient in your business with your clients, right? If you're too ADD to practice presence, please, friends, practice presence. Because if you're just go all the time in your home and you're at the gym, you know, at work, all of that stuff, it's going to reflect in your business. Your clients will feel it. You'll miss something. Something is going to fall through the net. You know, it just happens. So how you do anything is how you do everything. So practicing presence, even if it's just in the moment in the car, right? And I felt the yawn a little bit, which I love. When people yawn, it is a compliment to me because they're relaxed, right? They're open. Yawning is actually often the body's opening for more breath, so there's not as much tension. So I want to say thank you. There's a little hide. It was like, oh, yawning. I love the yawn. It means it's working. This, you know, you feel a little bit more present in your body, hopefully. Okay, so let's practice. 3 steps to dynamic presence. So the first is breathing. And that's what we did in the beginning, right? You felt the breath. And just even now, take a breath into your mouth or your nose and out of your mouth. Good. And then take another breath where you feel your breath come into your ribs, so your ribs go sideways. Good. Get more yawns coming. It's good. Yeah. Keep the eyes up. All right, we're going to do one more. Now see if you can get your breath to even reach down to the belly button. Just notice. 3 simple breaths. Shifts your state. More presence. More ability to hear. So that's the first step. Awareness. That's what we've been doing really the whole time we've been here. Awareness. And what I just did is I had you breathe, not just say take a breath, but I had you breathe into certain parts of your body. So directed the breath. So it's not just a breath, it's a breath with a conscious direction. And that's awareness. Like it's out. You couldn't think about cheeseburgers or bananas when you're breathing into your ribs wide, like your ribs are fish scales or something, right? You just can't. You just can't. And so it's a practice of when that person cuts you off and you're going to a meet. Say I was maybe coming here today, and I'm such a chill driver. It's not the best example, but other people wouldn't say I'm a chill driver. I'd say that I have a little 16-year-old, I drive a car like a 16-year-old. But to me, I'm a chill driver. Nothing bothers me, right? If something did, like somebody cut me off and they almost hit me. Ah! That's the moment to practice. Breathe. Send the breath into parts of your body. When somebody calls and complains about something in your business, maybe you're like, whoa, I had no idea. We could react or we could pause, breathe, bring awareness, respond from the body. We respond from the body, we react from the mind. I'll say that again, you want to write that down. We respond from the body, we react from the mind. So if you find yourself in a reactive space, doing this breath is so good, because do you guys know that you're going to have difficult people that you're going to run across in your business? If you haven't already, you're really lucky. It's going to happen. We're humans. Yeah, it's just going to happen. So if you have a difficult situation with another person, this is the time to practice dynamic presence. And what happens is that it actually filters over into every relationship. Everybody that comes across you starts to notice, like, it just kind of feels good to be around them. One of the things that people say to me the most, the 2 things that people say to me the most are, I love how real you are, and I love your energy. And the reason is simply because I'm with myself. People like people who are with themselves and not worried about what other people are doing or thinking or saying. So this is another way to just come back to yourself, attract more clients, attract the kind of, friends and be around the family the way you want to be, right? It's a bigger picture here. Breathing, awareness, and then engaged movement. So I can't come to a presentation and not get you guys out of your chair. So I would love to, I always honor everybody and say, I have no idea what your body feels like today. So if you want to sit, sit. Okay? There are people who have challenges physically that we can't see, right? Energetically, internally, all that stuff. So I always want to honor everybody and say, you don't have to get up if you want to, even if you're just not feeling like it. Like, I just want to sit here, I'm chilling, it's cool. Totally okay, no judgment. But if you feel like it, we're going to do a little bit of posture training real quick. And the reason is because, you know, you can breathe, you can have awareness. You can also have awareness in your body at any moment. So I'm just going to run you through a few things. Hips, heart, head. Okay? 3 parts of you. Hips, so go ahead and take your hands on your hips. And take your tips of your toes and let them press down just a little and bend your knees. And then take your hips just a little bit further back. And that lengthens your belly. You feel that? So if your hips are forward, your belly's shorter. Hips are back, belly's longer, right? So you're going to try, this is one way to have dynamic presence. Why? Because if you're standing with your legs straight, you have to bend them to move forward, right? So if you choose to keep your toes down, knees bent, hips back, toes down, knees bent, hips back, you're in a dynamic position. You're one step closer to where you need to go at all times. Okay? One more thing, rib cage, lift it up, even when your hips are back. And your head. Ish said beautifully today, I want to keep my eyes lifted. So what I'm going to give you is how to call it. We call it horizon eyes. Like, okay, so look at something kind of close to you. And yeah. And then look out into the horizon like you're looking out at the top of the Rocky Mountains. Okay. And then do it again where you look close. And notice your body as you look up. And what's different?
Now I'm like looking beyond like the normal average height person.
Beyond the average type person. Who wants to be beyond the average type person? Yes! Keep your head up to be beyond the average type person. Right? Anybody else feel anything different they want to share?
It's uplifting, literally. It's
Literally.
positive.
Yes! Even blind children, when they win a race, when they think they won a race, because they don't know, they can't see, right? This is what they do. Okay. So you can keep your body, you can be present in your body by breathing, awareness, right? Breathing into certain parts, this awareness piece, and even the way you move. You're engaged with your head. You even know what you're doing with your head. Most people walk around thinking in their head, but it's down like this. It's all over, you know, it's just down. What if you were to maybe be thinking, but in the body of your head also, lifting it up just a little. You can feel now if you lift your head up, you're like, oh, kind of feels good, right? So go ahead and you can stand up the rest of the time or sit down now if you'd like. So it's super simple. So hips back, heart full, head lifted is what we say. So the 3 H's are hips back, heart full, head lifted. Okay, with presence, you honor others. You really are there with people and not just thinking about what you're going to do later in the day. You feel your own value. When you're with yourself fully, you feel appreciated. You feel grateful, just like we did that exercise in the beginning. You really feel that you can charge more for everything you offer. You can work with people longer even. You build stronger relationships. You'll have repeat clients. Right? That's how you can grow your business through this. And what I want to say is that you can be of service, loving what you do, and make money doing it. Okay. We all know this from a strategy standpoint, right, and techniques. But what I would say is start to play. If you already know the strategies, if you already know all that stuff, but it's not still, you know, things aren't popping for you yet just the way you want to, practice presence. Consider adding this, you know, this body piece, what we'll say, because you have all the thoughts, you have all the information, but consider adding this body piece into your business every single day and watch yourself, you know, connect with people on a whole new level. Okay. Thank you so much. And I want to say too, I brought a sheet. I opened up 8 spots for anybody who wants to have a conversation with me. I always say people love talking to me because I'm an idea woman, so I will absolutely help you up-level your bank account this year if you want to. I'll give you ideas because I really believe that every single one of you has a lot more value in you than you even know right now, honestly. So if you want to, I have some slots open, and you can put your name down, your email, your phone number. We can have a conversation, and if these times don't work, just put your name down at the bottom. Okay, so I'll pass this around for everybody. Okay. Sound good?
Sounds
We're
good.
good to go? Okay,
Yeah.
on time. All right. And
All right.
can I take questions now? Or
Yeah,
we-
well, and real quick, we're going to have the allies come up and introduce themselves because we kind of intentionally skipped them at the beginning. So, hey. No, it's fine. But we're going to talk about how to interact with Lila. So,
Okay.
go.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So, you know, I really would love for you to find me on Facebook because I love having Facebook friends. So I'm Lila Gonzalez, Lila, Gonzalez with a Z at the end. I'm probably the first one that'll pull up, but if not, you can, my book's called The Reinvented Woman. You'll see it right there. That would be one way. And then, like I said, I would love to offer you guys, I've opened up slots for you guys to have a conversation about how can I be more present, how can I offer more value, and how can I make more sales this year, really. That's what the conversation will be around. So if that doesn't interest you, that kind of conversation, then maybe this, connecting with me isn't the right fit. But if you feel like, okay, I could have more presence, I could make more sales, and, and make more impact, really, in the world this year, then let's have a conversation. Okay.
All right, do we have any questions for Lila? So we do have a few minutes.
Since we're a future think tank and serve many generations, what's your take on the presence of different age groups or mindsets or different flavors?
I love this question.
Yeah.
I love this question because technology, we know that technology has brought us to a space where attention is effective because of it, right? So yeah, the younger generation, I'm going to be honest, I don't have any clients under 25 right now. So I know that that population is a special population. So I have job security, right? They need us. They need this bad. So with that said, at the same time, we have this kind of Gen X millennials who are in that in-between space. Those are the people I speak to the most because they have access to technology. You guys are using it. But you also recognize, like, I need more presence. It's like it's pulling me away from things in my life. So what I believe is there's an understanding and there's an implementation. The boomers, on the other hand, I believe they just generally have more presence because they generally just have more presence. So they actually can sometimes need help with like the strategy and the technology and all of that. So what's neat is like we can come together at a place like Boost Biz Ed, right? And support one another for that. Like, boomers can help the younger generation can help the boomers, and we can hopefully bring ourselves together so we're a very present, technology-loving society. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for a great question, Carol. I love that.
Any other questions?
Well, I was gonna say, as a 23-year-old, because of everything going on right now, you feel like these are times of such unrest in terms of all the structures that were present for as far as going to college. And I chose not to go to college because when I was there, I wasn't present to the knowledge really. And now I'm looking towards implementing knowledge and actually learning, not just for the sake of learning, but for the acting of with that knowledge. Especially when I meet professionals like you, I tend to go into my head a lot more. Not so much this one, but I've gone to previous meetups and I don't talk to anybody. I'm last one in, first one out,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So would you say that this breath and this feeling of your belly button and the way you walk would help you in those meetings?
I definitely felt way more present, like during your presentation, but I'm aware of it because it is out there in the zeitgeist as far as just the benefits of mental health and just stabilizing that, but I can't say that I use them to the best of their ability.
Today's your day, brother.
Okay.
Moving forward, it's all you.
I was gonna
love
leave.
Oh, so good. You're stuck with us.
Yeah,
Thank
Ish,
you
we already
so
know
much.
what your feedback's going to be at the end, what you're going to do. So,
Thank you so much
with
for sharing.
that, thank you for being here. Give her a big round of applause. She did mention the best way to interact, or one way to interact with her, is via Facebook. If you go to the Boost Biz Ed site, you can watch the video again, and I'm going to ask her to comment on it and potentially even share the slides because I know they didn't present well via Facebook. So that way people can access them that way as well. So, so thank you for being that. She is the ally of the day, so she is our speaker ally. So this whole event is put on by allies. I don't get paid for my bad jokes up here. I don't get paid for good jokes either. I just don't get paid for being up here. So we have a couple of allies I'd like to recognize. The first is Drew Shockley, who is in Oregon now, but he is the owner of Call to Action Alliance and the founder of this group a 8 years and some months ago. I was at a couple of first few meetings that he had, and it's amazing what this started as, the vision, and what it's become. It's truly just an amazing thing. But he is Call to Action Alliance, and it's all website development. That's what he does for actually making money. So his little commercial I'm going to read for him is, are you tired of visitors bouncing away from your website? Let Call to Action Alliance dive into your business passions to create a standout online experience that moves your traffic to action. Remember, passion ignites action. Book an appointment with Drew at ctaalliance.com/bookdrew. So without him, none of this would be possible, and you wouldn't have to endure my bad jokes. Linda and Carol, I'm going to have you come up here because I don't want to move the laptop around. But real quick, DaVinci Institute, come on up. DaVinci Institute allows us to use their facility here. So Carol's kind of representative for them. So if you want to stand here so you're not in front of the screen.
Yes, great. Hi, the DaVinci Institute, we're a future think tank. We're all about helping people create a future. We build community, we collaborate, we build on the shoulders of giants before us and learn from the younger generations. We're multifaceted. We are a co-working space. We have private offices, open spaces, so come hang with us. We do offer referral fees if people do choose to be attentive here. So come see us. Here's some info. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Carol. And then Linda, come on up. Linda's our coordinator, so she's the one that sits in the back of the room, make sure I do all the stuff I'm supposed to do and more stuff that I don't know I'm supposed to do. So.
Hi, I'm Linda, and I have recently started a photography business. So I help people capture their special moments, whether that is in their family life, private life, or in their business. And so if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on Facebook as well. Thank you.
All right, and then I am the honorary video guy, as well as the MC, as well as the bad jokester, as well as lots of other things you guys will probably tell me afterwards. But I also work with a company called Team National. So what we do is we help people save money on all the purchases that they make to live their life and run their business. So if you know somebody that's struggling, trying to figure out how to cut expenses but not cut what they need to survive either in their business or personal life, or if you know somebody that is just so good with money that they have money falling out of their pockets because they know how to do it, this is a perfect partnership for them because they can really take that to the next level as well. So that's what I do, is I help people figure out how to get more money in their pocket and keep it in their pocket to do what they want for fun or for business or for the community, and to have the dynamic presence. So with that, I'm going to say thank you to all the Facebook people for being online. Hopefully it transmitted well. I was watching in the back of the room and may have put a couple of comments on there. So see us again soon here in person or online, and we will see you tomorrow or next week.